Hey houseplant friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to tell you about some of my favorite common plants. These are plants that in my opinion they're like somewhat beginner friendly, but these are just plants that I've had in my care for a super long time. I'm going to give you just a couple care tips about them, about an average price range. Maybe you can afford them, maybe you cannot. Why I think that they make such good common houseplants that you can kind of put almost anywhere in your house. Before we get into all that though, please make sure that you hit like and subscribe. Maybe you've been binge watching my videos and you just forgot to hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the community. I also have YouTube channel memberships, which you can also check out in the link in the description at the very top. They're only $5 a month and you'll join a community of over 200 houseplant parents from all over the world. I also want to stop and thank Zimpf so much for sponsoring this video. You can learn more about Zimpf in the link in the bio as well. But these are my favorite glasses. These are the Aphrodite frame and they are my absolute everyday. I'm in bed, I'm out. They match almost every outfit, but they're comfy enough to wear in your pajamas. Highly, highly recommend. If you use code Ashley, you get an absolutely bonkers discount if you want to check it out. Thank you Zimpf so much for sponsoring this video. Now let me show you the plants. I'm really excited to talk about these ones. Kind of feeling my own with the more common plants lately. They're something that I really enjoy. And I feel like for a while, the price of common plants was actually kind of just getting higher and higher. I feel confident in saying that I think common plants are finally getting cheaper again, like they were before. First plant I'd like to talk about is actually my Marble Queen Pothos. I got this from one of my members who saw that I had been kind of wanting to try out Pothos again. They had bought 2 of these and they offered to send me one of them. I have been growing this plant for probably 4 months now. I was a serial plant murderer before, or I should say Pothos murderer before. Also, in case you didn't know, Pothos actually are not Pothos. This is an Epipremnum or Epipremnum Marble Queen is what they call it. Well, that's what its actual name is. Pothos is a completely different genus of very small tropical plants. I made a whole video on how your pothos aren't pothos. Literally just type into YouTube search, "Plant me Ashley" or "Pothos are not pothos," and it will just kind of pop up. It's very interesting that we call them pothos when they are literally not even in the same genus. Basically, there was this old botanist guy and he kind of just walked around forest and he was like, "Oh, that vines? It's a pothos. Oh, that vines? It's a pothos." I don't know, it's very interesting, but one of my members sent this to me and it has just been doing so good. It has gotten so big. The back is bald because it's been facing a window, but it's putting out like these really pretty little whiter leaves, which I think are really nice. Consistently always pushing out new growth. It hasn't gotten any pests yet. It's in moss and soil, which I think might be why I've been doing better with it, because the moss retains a little bit of the moisture quite a bit better than if it were just with soil. This is in a plastic pot. It does have 2 holes at the bottom. I don't know, it's really good. I really like this plant, and for me to put this on my like favorite common plants list is like a big deal because I really do not love Epipremnum pretty much at all. But this one has just given me so much love and it just looks so pretty and healthy. Like that literally looks so lush. I don't know, I love it. Next plant I have on my list you might not consider to be a common plant depending on what area you live in, but I would say that right now in the houseplant climate, in the United States at least, the Syngonium Alba Podophylum is quite a common plant. You can actually secure this plant for as little as $15, maybe at most right now $30 for a really nice one. But I've secured both of these plants for $15 total. For this entire little thing. That is not out of the normal, out of the ordinary right now. That is pretty ordinary. It's actually been doing a lot better than my Syngonium typically do. Normally when I'm growing Syngonium, I put them in my greenhouse and they'll put out a leaf and then the oldest leaf will die when the newest leaf comes in. But I've been making sure to just absolutely throttle this guy with water in my little Rain Ceramics friend pot. And then I put him right in the window where all the sun is, and he's been actually growing. Like, did I finally figure out Syngonium for myself? This has been amazing to watch over the last month that I've had it. He had only 1 leaf on this plant and only 2 on this one. And we put in a new leaf on both plants. I got this from one of my local plant friends, Devin, and it's just doing so well. It's such a good grower. And I mean, like maybe I'm just jinxing myself and I'm saying it too early, but that is just so nice. Another reason I think this plant is such a cool common plant is because it used to be so extremely expensive. And to see the price of a really beautiful plant like this fall so drastically and quickly is just honestly really exciting. And very grateful for that. Grab it while you can before the prices go back up is all I'm saying. Next plant I want to talk about is actually my string of hearts. This is a plant I've been in love with for a while. You've probably heard me talk about it multiple times before, but the string of hearts is an incredibly fast growing vining houseplant called Serrapegia woodii. This plant is truly amazing. It actually wants more water than you think it might. Mine actually should probably be watered here in the next week or so. I probably water mine every 2 or 3 weeks. If you don't, it'll slow its growth. And I keep mine in direct bright light from a south-facing window for 8 hours a day. And it's already doubled its size. It's getting quite long. However, this is a plant you are not going to want to forget to rotate because otherwise it will pretty dominantly grow on one side versus the other. This side is filling in, which is super nice. We are getting somewhere, but used to be just completely barren on this side. I love this plant because it's sold pretty much everywhere. You can pretty much always locate a string of hearts. It's very hard for me not to buy one every single time I see one because they're truly one of my very favorite plants. The variegated one is in my top 5. Probably top 10 actually. But this one is just so nice. I love it so much. And it goes for about $30 to $45 in the houseplant market at the moment. There are some places obviously that will always be selling plants for a little bit more money, but the string of hearts is one that's pretty much stayed consistently around the $30 to $45. It's available pretty widely around the area. I saw one at my grocery store the other day actually for $40. I really like this plant. It grows really fast, does really well even in lower light conditions. Won't grow as fast, but it will live. So the next plant I want to talk about is my Hoya Carnosa Compacta variegata. We've actually got some crispies in here. This is if you want like a rope Hoya, but you don't have the money to spend on the variegated one. This plant grows so incredibly fast. It is so worth your time. This rope right here has doubled in length since I got it just 2 weeks ago, about 2-3 weeks ago. It's growing from every single one of the growth points. There are many. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then there's an 11 and 12. 12 different growth points happening at the exact same time. This plant also gets bright, direct light for 8 hours a day, and it absolutely thrives in it. It grows so fast. Like if you're wanting one and you just can't afford to get like a really big variegated one, really would recommend still getting one of these because they're so nice and they grow really fast. Hoya Carnosa Compactas generally grow slow, like all of them, but when you add variegation to the mix, it's going to make it grow even slower. So if you're wanting like a fast growing plant that you can find at Lowe's on occasion, and it's just really nice, fast growing, the green color is so beautiful. You know, plants have a lot of different green colors in their leaves. This has to be one of my favorites, if not my very favorite. It's like a candy green. Hoya Carnosa Compacta, I really love it. I got this for $14.98 at Lowe's 3 weeks ago, and it's already just absolutely taking off. I love it so much. Next plant we're gonna talk about is obviously the Philodendron Micans. This is by far my favorite common houseplant that exists. This plant used to not really be considered common. It kind of used to be really hard to locate, even locally in people's towns and homes and stuff. But this plant is truly wonderful. This is a velvet heartleaf philodendron. So this is basically Philodendron heteroraceum, but not variegated. What am I saying? That'd be awesome. Philodendron heteroraceum, basically, but velvet. It also has a different color of these little thingies. What did I just drop? The little sheaths, petular sheaths on this plant are actually a more red color, almost like the color of my hair. And this is doing really good. This plant is throwing tons of these beautiful baby leaves out. They look so beautiful, especially in the light. Locally right now in Boise, you can get a 4-inch and 6-inch for about $18 to $21. Which is just a truly amazing price. I actually put 2 $18 Micans in this pot, which is how I made this really big one. No, I did not find one this big. I wish I found one this big. Plant's care is really great. I do keep it directly in the bright sun, which does increase how fast it grows. And it will also actually kind of sun bleach your plant. So if you don't like the sun bleached look of Micans, don't do that, but I do like it. So yeah, I don't know, I really adore it. Micans are a plant that every single time I find one, I buy one. For me, it's like my Hoya Carnosa Compacta variegatas. Every time I see one of those, I have to buy it if it's a reasonable price. They're a plant that always makes me feel good, and a plant that I could never, ever, ever have too little of or too much of. Well, I always have too little of it. I could never have too much of it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This guy's really great. I keep him in an aeroid soily mixture. His roots are actually already doing really good. You can see him kind of starting to pop through the bottom already. So that's awesome sauce. He's loving it in this pot. Little balls on the back. So I have this side facing the window, so we will slowly over time, the branches will kind of lean that way, which will be really wonderful. I don't know, I really do love this plant. I think it's very beautiful. I think it's honestly a staple if you can afford to find one somewhere locally. And yeah, I don't know. Philodendron Micans. Next little planty I want to talk about is actually the Phalaenopsis orchid. There are many different types of Phalaenopsis orchids. This is a specialty variety that I was able to procure locally from an orchid seller. We actually have him budding right now, so he's gonna bloom here pretty soon, which is so exciting. There's actually 2 plants in this pot. I could separate them if I wanted to, but I just think that he looks so beautiful in this little setup we have going on right now. The amazing thing about Phalaenopsis is that they can rebloom, and they can also grow keikis, which will create a new plant that they can grow from. You can either cut the keiki or you can just keep letting it grow. These plants will bloom. They do really good in high and low light. Once the flower comes out though, you don't want to give it too much light. You also want to make sure you're never giving it direct light. I gave one of my Phalaenopsis direct light for a while, and it just like it ate it. Like it died really fast, and the flower died really fast. One thing to know about this is that whenever you see their roots get this color, it means it's time to water. So this one actually needs pretty deep watering here soon. You can see all the roots are pretty darn white. So we will give this guy a very deep watering here on my next little watering day that we do, which will be very soon. He's actually also growing in a new leaf right there, which is wonderful to see. So this guy's really happy. The brighter of indirect light you keep them in, they will really flourish. You can also keep them in a darker space like an office or a bedroom or a bathroom, and they will absolutely just drink in that humidity and love it and live for you anyways. Yeah, this is the Phalaenopsis orchid. You can buy them at your grocery stores for as cheap as $5, sometimes expensive as $35 or $50. Depending on the arrangement and the size and the type of Phalaenopsis orchid, there are many different varieties, so just pick a flower that you think you like and foliage that you like. And I think it's just a really good plant. Don't get frustrated if you lose your first Phalaenopsis. Orchids are kind of a different animal to take care of, but I have many Phalaenopsis orchids. They're honestly one of my kryptonites. It's so hard for me to not just spend my money on them at the grocery store. All right, last plant on my little list is actually this very extensive begonia maculata whitei. This is a plant I have had for over a year now. Probably a year and 3 months actually. It's been quite a while. I got this from Costa Farms last summer sometime. The very beginning of summer I actually got this wrong. I've had this since summer 2019. So it's been 2 years. They sent me one to my house, and then I also picked one up at a Lowe's. And since then, you can find them all over Boise. They're kind of in the grocery stores, at the Lowe's and everything. This guy has gotten absolutely bonkersly big. This whole stem actually died back recently, but we are getting a new leaf at the very top. I was giving this plant too much direct light, so it died back, which is why it looks a little bit barren. This stem here is doing truly really wonderful, and then these over here are also doing very well. There's a stem back here that is not doing the best, but like I said, I was giving it too much light, and so he got burned a little bit. But yeah, he's great. This plant needs more water than you might think. I usually water it whenever it starts to look significantly droopy. I really enjoy this plant. I think that this is one of those plants that just kind of makes any home space look a lot more interesting. So if you're really into interior design or decorating, I really do recommend begonia maculata whitei because they're cheap, they're inexpensive, they're very easy to care for, though you might have a hard time finding a begonia maculata whitei that's actually in good quality. This is a plant that if you buy it and it's a bad quality plant, it will just kind of die. So you want to make sure that you're buying one that actually is healthy. That's definitely the biggest hurdle in trying to find good begonias. Here's a little bit of a close-up of the foliage. The front of the leaves are green and white spotted, and the back of the leaves are let's see if we can get the light. bright and vibrant red color. It's actually very sparkly as well, so if you shine a light up to it, it literally just looks like candy. This is my last plant on the list, and for good reason. I think that this plant really can just make any home space just look so beautiful and wonderful, and I usually just put it in whatever space I feel like needs more sprucing up. So anyways, that is my list, my favorite common houseplants that I've really been digging this month, and just kind of in general. These are kind of, I don't know, I don't tend to have a lot of plants right now because of the move that we did. Lots of the plants I have are duplicates, multiples. Basically, I have a lot of the same Hoya, a lot of the same begonia, lots of different phalaenopsis, and I found that there are some common plants that just really work for me and some that don't. And if there's a common plant out there that you're struggling with, or someone's like, wow, I can't believe you killed a pothos. How could you kill a pothos? They're so easy. Well, I struggled with pothos until this one that one of my members sent me. So you never really know what's gonna work for you and what's not gonna work for you. Don't let other people basically bully you because you're having more trouble with a certain genus that is super easy for them. Another thing to note is that where you live, like your zone, and also your lighting conditions, like you can see it's very bright in here, which is why the lighting is changing so much, because the camera's constantly trying to adjust for the oversaturation of light in this room, because I really have a wall of south-facing windows. So all these plants right here, I mean, are just getting totally bolted, throttled with all of this light. Your living conditions can really mean a lot. Our bathroom has a blurry frosted window, and I want to put all of the plants in there because they would get so much humidity from the bath and everything, but we've decided that there will be no plants in the bathroom, which is so sad because I want to put them all in there. If you have a higher resting humidity in your area, like if you live somewhere like Florida, growing almost every plant is going to be a lot easier for you than it would be if you lived in a desert like I do. It's really different. Make sure you look into your agricultural zones. Those mean a world of a difference when it comes to understanding the kind of care and supplements you might need to give to your plant. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much, Zimp, for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out these really beautiful Aphrodite lenses. I seriously love them. They are my favorite pair of glasses in the whole world. Code Ashley gets you 50% off frames and 20% off lenses, so you really can't go wrong. They are so cheap. There are literally some frames on Zimp's site that are $3 right now. And then also, you can submit it to insurance and just get all that just gone, bye-bye. But if you don't have insurance, Zimp is super affordable anyways, so it's like, I don't know, I just really love how easily attainable the glasses are. They're really friendly for people like me who don't have a lot of money to spend on glasses. Anyways, I do wear a bunch of other different types of glasses if you want to check them out as well, the link in the description. But thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you hit like, subscribe, and tweet me at PlantMeAshley. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch at PlantMeAshley. Following me on those platforms is free and supports me greatly. Also, join the YouTube channel memberships. That is the single best way to support me continuing doing this content full time. It's super fun, and you'll join an online community of over 200 different plant parents from all over the world. It is super wonderful, and we would love to have you there. I super recommend it, especially if you're having trouble making friends in the plant community, you want extra care tips, you want access to our exclusive BST, or just got some downtime and you want to spend it with some internet people during this freaking quarantine. Well, I guess I'm calling it a quarantine because that's what we pretty much do, but you know what I mean. Anyways, thanks so much for watching this video, you guys, and I will see you in the next houseplant section. My views lately on my videos have actually gone up a lot, so if you're watching this video, I really just want to thank you so much personally. I super appreciate it, and we're about to hit 30,000 subscribers, which is something I never ever thought would happen to me. So I know I'm still a really small creator, but you guys make me feel like a big one, and I really appreciate it. You guys we're such a tight-knit, small community of Plant Me parents, and I just want to say really thank you. Now let's get to the end of the video fun stuff, okay? Hello and welcome to the end of the video fun stuff. I would like to welcome Maggie Piciano to the YouTube channel membership. I would like to thank Maggie Piciano, Liliana Ramos, Kim Klenowski, Ashley's Planties, Cole M, Houseplant Heather, All the Green Places, and Botanicas for the extra and continued channel support. Today's extra special comment shout out goes to M Day Today, who has been a member for 1 month, who said coffee and anxiety equals the loss of all the marbles. I completely agree. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next houseplant section. Goodbye.